I hope they fucking draw,
Yes,
man.
my people. Yes, my people. Gunner, we're live, you know. We ain't gonna doing a private watch along. How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? We're live. This is special today. Um, yeah, some don't know if it's real news or what, but we're here to report on it. Are you ready? It's the new Armoury special.
So,
He's got to extend that by about 5 more seconds at least. But it's work in progress. What are you saying, Gunner King? You right?
I was gonna say, yeah, like,
We're
not
not
quite
even
there
trying
yet
to
with
punch the
the.
nose or nothing, but yeah,
I
it's
was
sick though. It's
just,
sick.
yeah, I don't
You
know.
saying?
Yeah, I'm all good, man. All good, man.
How you
Still
feeling after
buzzing off
yesterday?
yesterday's result.
How would you rate that performance for like this season? Where would you put that one?
8.5 out of 10. I would say only the Tottenham performance really stands out to me as potentially better. But I find that this one was better in the sense that Tottenham, we kind of like went 3-0 up at half time. We kind of like
Mm.
not only took our foot off the gas, but got a bit complacent.
Hmm.
Whereas, like with West Ham, we dominated. Like, look, it weren't a penalty in my eyes.
No.
Never a penalty. Never a terrible decision. Yeah.
Hmm.
However, we deserved to win because we were in control of the game before then. We didn't
Hmm.
let sniff. I know they got injuries, you know, but we dominated them. It was probably one of the more dominant performances of one of the better teams in the league that I've seen this season so far.
Mm. I think that's going down as probably my favorite, best game this year. At the moment, um, like you said, the Tottenham one was a great 45. Um, I would say the Leicester. I would think the Leicester was better than the Tottenham one. I think but again, we let them back in and we held on for a bit and
Mm,
regained. The Tottenham one I think was a great 45, and after that we was shambles for 45.
mm.
But because it was wrapped up, we kind of put it down to, we just took our foot off the pedal. Um, but this one, like you're saying, we controlled the game from minute one to 93rd. Um, yeah, as you know, I was at the game, and yeah, I was getting comfortable. Like I think Bowen had one chance where we gave him a bad pass,
Hmm.
bad back pass into him, and yeah, that was about it really. Like it was quite comfortable. Do you know what I mean? And
Great performance, man. And
yeah, like you said, West Ham are one of them teams who caused the top teams a lot of problems, and we
well, they've beaten
silent.
all of the big six teams apart
Mm,
from us this season. Be it in
yeah,
Carabao Cup
yeah.
competition or in league competition, they've beaten all of the other big six teams
Wow.
this season.
So yeah, credit to the boys.
So I
They
don't.
stepped up.
I'm going to keep saying I don't want to hear no more talk about we ain't beating no big teams when we
Mm,
beating the team that's beating all of the big teams.
yeah, yeah. And again, we leapfrogged them in the table now. That's an important game. It really was an important victory for us. I think. Like again, you can almost say we can lose to Chelsea, lose to Liverpool, lose to City, but you got to beat the teams in and around you or take points off them, and then
These
you
are the
got to
more
win it.
important games because
Yeah, definitely.
they're more winnable.
Hmm.
3 points in them is
Hmm.
more achievable. You know.
Yeah, for real, for real. Hold on a minute. I just seen a comment. I've got to put it up finally after 3 hours. That's my fault, guys. I'm so sorry, but duty called, so I had to go and deal with something quickly. So
Oh,
we're
look at
here.
me.
We're here. Gunner King's been waiting, but we're here. We're here. We're here. We're gonna get into the topic anyway. Like obviously, we're both very happy with the result yesterday. Going into Leeds, we've obviously done the preview show earlier, so if you haven't seen that yet, go check it out. It's a good show. Everyone still get onto Silver Fox. We're going to talk about that later as well, Gunner. Like we can't let him get away with this stream as well. We got to talk about them player ratings, mate. Silver Fox advise you, I'll just come out of the comment section because Gunner King's gonna light you up. You might get yourself, you might see yourself on a TikTok video later. But now it's
Bro,
all love. It's all
he's lucky my main account's banned.
love.
3 days, you know.
Bit alrighty, but yeah, it's all love. Like everyone's got a different perception, but I think a game like that yesterday, um, I don't think anyone deserved less than a seven. If I'm honest with you, anyone that
Agreed,
started anyway, everyone should get a minimum of a seven. Um,
agreed, man.
I get Tony's points where he said like picked out these one little instant, like oh you had a bad pass, but across the 90 minutes, one bad pass is nothing. Like they were on job, man. Um,
Mm.
and again, it made me. I haven't had that feeling going to watch Arsenal where I'm looking to when's the next game I can get to. Like, boy, let me put my name on the waiting list. Like, I'm actually getting that buzzed again. I haven't had that for a long time. So
I'm about this close to putting my name down for a season ticket,
yeah,
and I heard
yeah,
Candace say the same thing the other day. You know,
yeah. So
I'm actually this close. Like I want to see what they do in January, and I want to see what they do
mm,
in the summer. But the thing is,
yeah,
look, if I see if I see a concerted effort from this board, and I've spent the whole day, me and one of my guys is a Chelsea fan, going at it on Twitter the whole day, yeah. You know what I mean? He's like, I'm not going to worry about you until you've got elite players. And yes, they just scored now, yeah, with man like Mason Mount again, yeah.
Again.
But yeah, he's not stopping. But look, you look at the comparable numbers of what Mount scored to Odegaard, to ESR, to Saka now, to Martinelli. You know, they're getting there with their goal involvements. You know, you're looking at comparable numbers of Mendy and clean sheets to Ramsdale.
Yeah.
Mendy's got to keep a clean sheet here to be level with Ramsdale.
Really? Yeah.
You know, like,
and I know there's games.
Well, it's the same thing. So I'm like, listen, like, I get what you're saying. We're not shopping at Harrods, but listen, we're out here. We've gone to Lidl's and we found a few gems.
Yeah, through
you know
bargains. Yeah. If you look at our goal difference is terrible. But actually, I'd much rather it be 4 goals against Liverpool than them spread out against your Leicester, against your West Ham, Southampton. So if we had won them 3-1, 2-1,
the first 3 games as well.
That's a lot of them. So you think what Man City hit 4 or 5 passes? Yeah. So yeah, again, if you take off them first 3, that goal difference looks a lot different. Do you know what I mean? And all we can keep doing is keeping them clean sheets in them games where we need to. Do you know what I mean? So I did call a clean sheet against West Ham, to be fair. But I thought it'd be 3-0. So if Laka had scored that, he would have done me a favour. But yeah, like we're moving in the right direction. Do you know what I mean? And again, we are going to have them little blips, but we need to stop like overreacting when we have a bad one. Like Everton was a bad result, a bad performance, but again, we've bounced back quite quickly after that. Do you know what I mean? And 2 good wins on a bounce. So,
I mean, it's taken Chelsea 70 minutes to break them down. Everton, at Goodison. I think they are playing at Goodison Park, aren't they?
Believe so.
Yeah.
Believe so.
So there you go. You know.
Yeah. Right, we're going to get onto the topic of the day. Why we're having this special, and again, I don't want to say this has come out as I don't know where the source has got this info, but I think I've spoken about it before to someone else off the stream. We're talking about this guy, Nicolas Pepe. Now, if you can't read it, I'll read it for you. Nicolas Pepe, our record ever signing, was meant to be a superstar, but now he's stuck on the sidelines even during this December rotation period. Sorry, let me move that comment quickly. Really sorry. Hold on. Let's get rid of that one. One reason why Pepe is not playing is because of Pepe. If Pepe plays 5 more times before 2022, Arsenal will be forced to pay Lille 10 million. But if Arteta does not want to play him due to other players taking his spot in the first team, AC Milan is one of the clubs eager for his signature. So we're going to start. There's 2 points in there. The first point is, obviously, is he playing better than the players in front of him? And is that why he's not playing? And the second point is the money. And I think the money it kind of ties in because we look and think, why is Nketiah getting on the pitch before him? So that's why I think the money thing might come into it. So I don't think he deserves to start ahead of Martinelli, ESR, or Saka. So I would say he's 4th choice. But when Nketiah is getting on and playing left wing ahead of you, then it's like, actually, why is that happening? We're putting it down to his work rate, actually. But could it be that's 10 million at stake and we're winning 1-0 comfortably? I don't need to bring you on right now and end up paying an extra 10 mil. We'll just keep you on the bench. So do you think he deserves to be in that starting 11? Or be the first one off the bench if ESR's on the bench, who comes on first, or Martinelli or Saka? And then secondly, do you reckon the money has a thing to do with it?
I think there's all of that to do with it. And I think Nketiah's side story is that ever since Arteta's come, he's fancied him.
Yeah,
he's always given him chances. Yeah. He's always said he's a big part of the team and his future. Listen, Nketiah at Leeds was no joke, you know. I know a lot. I'm doing a preview show with a Leeds fan tomorrow, and he's always talking up, you know, what Nketiah did on loan there. So, you know, and this was a guy who was saying the same about Ben White. You know, he was reassuring me this summer that Ben White was going to be a good signing. You know, like So there's that side story to it as well. I think Arteta's given himself a chance of renewing Nketiah's contract as well as the 10 million, as well. Sorry, Everton equalised.
Love that.
Things you love to see. Looks like Mendy's wait to match Ramsdale's clean sheet record's got to wait a little bit.
A little bit longer. It's a little bit longer.
End of the day, I think there's those three stories together combined. The money doesn't concern me, and the thing is, I'm not digging the knife. I'm not sticking the knife into Pepe because you know how much I love him. You know, at the beginning of the season, I was saying, "Watch, he's going to have a big season." I've got all my TikTok posts where I was like, "You know, this guy's going to take the season by storm."
Yeah.
Where it changed for me is when I went to the Palace game, and I was in the H stand, yeah, which is like
Yeah.
where the season ticket holders sit, yeah, which is a lot across the breadth of the pitch. So you
Yeah.
kind of got that
The whole view.
yeah, that like the view of like the side on view,
Mm.
like the fly on the wall view, as it were. That's what I
Yeah.
call it. Yeah, I think that's what a professional cameraman would call it. Yeah, from that side, and it was the side where Tomiyasu and him were on the right,
Mm.
and we drew that game 2-2. And actually, the build up of the second goal did start down their left hand channel.
Yeah.
Because Gallagher was picking up pockets of space in between the defensive line, yeah. And sometimes he was moving over to that channel to create an overload. The problem with Arteta's system is it relies, if you look at the heat map of Saka on the right-hand side, it's not predominantly at the top. Yeah, obviously he's a winger, so you'll see a lot of activity in the top half, yeah. But I think we should do it on the tactical breakdown, like one of your next shows. What you'll see about Saka is he doubles up. So what he will do is in the defensive transition, my man will be coming back here, and he will be he will be kind of giving Tomiyasu some support. And I think what really stood out to me in that Palace game that day, not just for the goal, the second goal, how they got the second goal, you could see it all along. It was like, this is dodgy, you know, like this, you could see something was coming down that side where Tomiyasu was being left on his own. And then you see people talking about the game afterwards, and they're like, "Oh, Tomiyasu had a poor game," and it's like, well, he had no support, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's had no support, yeah. So what can you expect from him? You know,
And if you've got runners off you, it's like, what can you do? Do you know what I mean? If players are doubling up in them areas.
You saw the thread that I did the other day, yeah. My guy Tom Garrett, yeah. Shout out to him, yeah. Like, he nailed on the head it for me the other day when, ironically, he was describing the United Norwich game, yeah. And he was saying, look, a lot of United fans have been running around. We got Ragnick now, top four secured, talking like that, yeah. Oh, he's going to bring his system in, and it's like, listen, do you not know anything about a counter pressing system? Obviously, you know, you're a coach, yeah. You know that's not a kind of system you could just have a few training sessions and run with. That takes drilling, intense drilling.
Takes time. Yeah.
Get people in the right positions to know when to press, because it's no good one person pressing and the other's not. They've got to have a sense, an overall sense of. It's almost like creating an overload of the press itself. Yeah.
You very much you contract one part of the area and you really squeeze it, and you might end up finding yourself with 4 bodies in that area, and you just praying you get someone, you catch them, because if they get out, the other end is open, and that's where your fitness now. You've all got to shift across to get back. So
it's the tactical discipline as well. So what he was saying was, you know, it's almost like you lot are now starting to realize that it wasn't just Ollie. You know, that we're starting to realize it wasn't just Arteta, yeah. You know, like, which is what
even that the fitness levels in that is going to play a big part as well, because like, yes, all footballer players are fit, but when you're playing that kind of system, your fitness levels are going to get tested differently. And
they've got to be a lot
we
higher.
found that when Emery came in. Remember, he was saying he couldn't believe how unfit our players were to play a certain system, because they had it easy for a few years. And Oxlade-Chamberlain went to Liverpool, and Jurgen Klopp said he can't play for me for a few months because fitness levels aren't where they need to be. So to go into a whole team and try and change that mid-season, it's not going to be easy.
That's it. And I just think Pepe, unfortunately, like, that day was when I first started thinking, you know what, like, this is how much we need Saka. You know, this is how much we need Smith Rowe. Even Odegaard, looking at his pressing numbers, you saw that. I don't know if you could put that clip that I put in the group.
I'll send it in. I won't be able to give me a minute and it'll come in probably.
Yeah, but like, I mean, you look at his numbers, man. I mean, in the last 4 games, 28 ball recoveries, 18 duels won. That's Odegaard in his last 4 games.
Wow.
His last 4 games. Yeah. And what's clear is that's what is required of Arteta's system. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Pepe a far more talented individual on the ball than all of our attacking midfielders put together? Absolutely. Is his
Yeah.
highlight reel gonna, is it clear of all of the other threes? Absolutely. But the reality is, yeah, you'll probably not see those kind of numbers that Odegaard's put up in 4 games in a whole season for Pepe. You probably didn't last season. Do you know what I mean? Winning that many duels, recovering the ball that many times. Odegaard, yeah, I think what Canna said on yesterday's roundup that really resonated with me, is off the ball, and it was you actually, I think, that said it. He's the first one engaging the press.
Yeah, he
He's
started.
the first one. He's hitting the first man first, yeah, and you're seeing the others start to follow. So
Yeah.
what I was just saying about that engaging system of a press, yeah, and a gegenpress or any kind of counter pressing system, yeah, is knowing when and how to do it, but having leaders that sense that kind of opportunity that the others follow.
I'll
Yeah,
tell you
and
one thing. What I noticed with yesterday. Sorry
unfortunately,
to
I don't
jump in.
see that in Pepe. That's all it
Yeah,
is.
100%. Yeah, but I'll tell you one thing I did see yesterday. Obviously, as you know, I was there and I was behind Fabianski's goal in the first half. So we started off pressing. It's Laka and Odegaard will go and press the 2 centre backs. So obviously Laka went to the left one, Odegaard goes to Laka goes to their right centre back, Odegaard goes to their left centre back because Odegaard predominantly plays more on the right hand side. You know what I mean? If you see his heat map, he's always in and around where Saka is, and they link up. So they went and pressed. The first time they went and pressed, Declan Rice sat in the middle, got the ball turned, sprayed out to the right winger, Bowen, and they was out. Then 2 minutes later, say 3 minutes later, same thing again. And where they went and pressed the 2 centre backs, and the centre backs go really wide, Declan Rice had so much space in the middle, and he would turn and then just play forward or whatever it was. And you see Declan Rice a lot of times almost played in a free. He just sits in as a third centre back in the middle, and he's the one then who can bring the ball out. And you saw Odegaard and Lacazette have a conversation, and Declan Rice couldn't get on the ball again in that position because what they did is they said, all right, we're not going to fully press Diop, I'll half and half you. So I'm going to actually play nearer to Declan Rice. So Lacazette's going to go and target his one. I'm going to stay on Rice. When it goes across, I'm going to cut Rice off and make you play forward. And we made Diop play. And again, after that, Declan Rice was kind of just wasn't seen on the ball. Like again, when you're there watching it, you can see it unfolding, and they really just shut.
More detail in it.
They just shut Declan Rice off, like not by actually having to stand on him, but almost letting them play the first pattern. But when he went to press the centre back, he pressed from the side, so he couldn't now come back into Declan Rice. It's like I've got to now go forward. I can't go to the 90-degree angle to the right because he's shutting it off and coming from that direction. So
they're making that player make the more riskier passes.
You've got to play
when really you want Rice making those passes.
Yeah,
not,
and also
not
what it was doing, Diop's not left-footed, so he's coming out on the left-hand side of the centre back, and he's not left-footed, so he's now very much got to kind of almost force down that channel unless he's going into the move. But he hasn't got that switch pass.
He's forcing him to make the pass, and he's forcing him onto his weaker foot.
Yeah, and now if we now get the rest of the press on that side, actually we now could we squeeze that area of the pitch. So yeah, it was good to watch. And again, I was sat up quite high, like you said earlier. I was sat up as well quite high, so you can really watch it unfolding. And yeah, I feel as I said, it's not to hate on Pepe. Like you said, I think Pepe is probably one of the most talented players in that team. But I just think for how we're playing at the moment, we're not a Liverpool, we're not a City where you can have these mavericks.
Unfortunately, like our system at the moment is more geared around discipline.
Yeah.
In the defensive, in all the transitions, both the defensive and the attacking phases, like even the way that we're passing the ball forward, it's got a bit better in terms of like quickening the tempo in the final third and being a bit more direct in the final third, but it's still very patient, very probing. It's still about being able to maintain the shape so that if you suddenly lose the ball, you've got less to do to get back into shape. Unfortunately, like that's like a player like me, who is a player like Pepe. You've seen how Pepe plays, isn't it? I couldn't play in that system.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So I understand it because I would just want to get the ball and run, or like kind of. go around players and do. Yeah, I can press a bit, but like, you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, you want to be on the
yeah,
ball. But I do think part of the issue with Pepe, again, watching Saka yesterday, like I'm just in awe watching this kid, thinking like he's just it's just that
he's gone into the
it's
mountains now as
relentless.
well.
It's just relentless, and
Yeah.
it's just every time I get the ball, I'm just gonna go at you, like regardless.
Mm.
And they doubled up on him so much. Like I said, one stage, Lanzini was up the pitch, and I don't know who shouted and told him you got to get back and double up on Saka, but he tracked just to try and double up with Saka, and it's like, and at one stage when he couldn't get, Diop had to come out and do it. I've seen Declan Rice.
Yeah.
There's that picture. Have you seen the picture of 4 guys stood around him, like,
Yeah.
and he's still making an impact in them areas. Like it's breathtaking to watch him do it. Like
This is what I say. Like,
Masuaku, and it's not, and that's where I think Pepe falls short. Pepe would bend you up, but he wouldn't. He'll beat you again and beat you again. And he'll cut back and, but he wasn't going anywhere with it. Like he's doing it at the halfway line. He'll beat you twice, and he's only gone forward 5 yards. Where Saka's got a directness about him, where he's going to back you up into your penalty area, and then he's going to make a good decision. He's comfortable going left or right side as well. So as a defender, you can't stop. You cut off his left side, he'll go on his right side and cut it back. You cut off his right side, he'll go on his left side. So the only way you deal with it is the only way you deal with it is doubling up. And I don't think Pepe puts that fear into players the same. Even if you beat me, you're not going nowhere afterwards. You beat me and turn back around. So
I've been speaking to I've been speaking to a few people. Yeah, this one guy's a United fan. Yeah, and listen, I keep it real. I think technically Greenwood might be better on the ball.
100%. Yeah.
But
the way he strikes the ball in that. Yeah.
But I call it the X thing, the X factor. The like, Saka on the ball might not have the step overs, the tricks, like all this. Sometimes the ball might not be as close to his feet when he's running with the ball with, say, a Greenwood or a Foden or all these other players, yeah. But he's got this. He's just got this thing, right? When he will just run through things.
He's effective.
It's intuitive. You can see it in his head. He's doing it off the cuff, like it's instinctive, it's instantaneous, and it's difficult to predict what he's doing. Like it's difficult to second guess his movements. When he starts, he can double drop shoulders where he can just be like, whoop, whoop, like drop both of them. And the defender just stood still and doesn't realize they're falling on their back at the same time, because this is what he's doing. He's doing his momentum and his ability to shift his hips with his low center of gravity. That's where his technique and his dribbling comes from. And at the moment, it's getting better and better. He's getting better in the decisions that he's making in it, because in those moments it is very much intuitive. You're not even attuned yourself, like, because this was my style of play, like in terms of running at players, and I can tell you a lot of the time you don't even realize it yourself. Your muscle memory,
it's muscle memory. Yeah, it's muscle memory.
Take it over, and the way he's doing this, right? The way he's doing this right now, there just isn't an argument that Pepe can get there and dislodge him, because Saka's just growing in power. He really is.
And we saw it last year where we saw Saka on the right. We're thinking he seems more effective on the right than Pepe, but okay, Saka's playing on the left because we got no other choice. But now it's like Smith Rowe stepped up, Martinelli stepped up, so it's now a case of actually Saka, you're better on the right.
And we got Odegaard stepping up in the centre, which means that Smith Rowe can occupy the left a lot more.
There's options. So unfortunately for Pepe, you've had, I feel sorry for him, but I don't. You've had 2.5 years or 2 solid years in that team. Yes, you didn't start at the start of your career. Like, it took you a while to get in, then you got in. But again, it can't be down to favoritism. It can't be down to you're a Hale M boy, so you start. Or it can't be down to you're our most expensive player, so you start. It can't be because you're our captain, you start. It's everything should be on merit. And I do think there's an element of maybe it could be true to 10 million but again, it's merit. Is Nketiah starting on merit? Oh, not starting. Is Nketiah getting on the pitch on merit? Is Nketiah might be doing more? And
I definitely think it's a combination of what he's doing on the training pitch.
He's used Nketiah before. He's done it before.
Tie him down. I think Arteta's probably looking at it and thinking, look, at the end of the day, Nketiah is a young player. He's not the finished article. That's something I can work with. Whereas Pepe is 26 now, 27. There's only so much you can work on a player at that age. But they've got to fit to your system to be able to work with him at that age. And he's shown that it's not happening. So
In glimpses, he's done well, and say we're not saying it's been a terrible career from at Arsenal. Like I think it's a collect. He's come into a bad Arsenal team,
mm,
so it can't be all to blame for him. But again, I think that industry needs to be put in first before. Do you know what I mean? You got to earn the right to be able to play the way you want to play, and I just
unfortunately,
don't
it's
think
just a
we're not that
prerequisite.
Arsenal team. Yeah, we're
It's a
just not that Arsenal
prerequisite of
team.
Arteta's system, isn't it? That
Yeah, and yeah, where we are in terms of our team, do you know what I mean? City players might turn up and say, "I'm just going to go flary from the start because that's me," and but I've got the other 10 around me, which allows me to do that. But
mm.
this Arsenal team are not, and we need industry, and again, them players work harder. Like, do you think it's if it in hindsight, just say it is the case of they don't want to pay the 10 mil. Now, again, if he was starting and ripping up the league, you pay the 10 mil, not a problem. But the fact is, he isn't kind of tearing up trees at the moment. So if it is the case of if he plays 5 more games, it's 10 mil. Do you think it's wrong for Arteta not to be playing him?
If it's a case of the 10 mil, yes, because that shouldn't determine why a player is or isn't picked. But unfortunately, he's got the shield to hide behind of everything that we've just said prior.
Yeah, Pepe
If
hasn't done
that wasn't
anything to
there,
make us think different. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
if that wasn't there, man will be having a lot more to say about it.
Mm.
But really, I can't really truthfully, like, listen, you go back 3-6 months ago, you look at me talking about Pepe.
Yeah, he was a
I was
nailed
one
on
of his
starter.
biggest stands on this show,
Mm,
going up against Nigerian and Englishmen week in, week out. Yeah.
mm,
Having to defend him to this guy. But now I can't.
yeah.
I can't do it. That's the reality. So listen, I'm not gonna just stay on the mountain and just die here. Like
Mm,
I'm gonna just see things the way it is and just be like, well, I can't do that. So in terms of this money thing and this 10 million, look, we're not a Chelsea or a City, you know, we're not one of these oil clubs, yeah. We're not those guys, you know, like 10 million is a lot of money in this day and age. In this COVID impacted market,
if
Omicron
you
doing what it's doing now, you could see another lockdown happen,
mm,
impacts our revenue further. We know that we got to still spend on this squad, yeah,
yeah, and the thing is,
to get it to these levels.
and
So
10 million,
10
10
million
million,
is 10 million is a lot of money in the grand scheme of things to
10
be able
million
to
is
do that.
10 million is a Tavares or a Sambi Lokonga. So that shows you what you can get with a 10 million. Do you know what I mean? If you were to use it wisely. So yeah, I'm not saying I agree,
Unfortunately,
but I understand.
I can't
Let's say it that way.
listen.
If I'm
If they're
saying
trying to save, if they, I don't deny they probably are trying to save the 10 million because
but
Arsenal have always been
do you know
tight
what? But
with the coffers, yeah. But the thing is, like, if the rest of the rationale makes sense, I'm not going to call them out for that.
yeah,
You
if
know what
we're
I'm
still
saying?
winning,
Because
if we're performing well and we're winning, and he saved
what,
himself 10 million and he puts it in to the transfer kitty, so just say now it's a Calvert Lewin, but 10 million more gets you Flyovic, and we get Flyovic from it, then I'm all behind it. Do you know what I mean? It's only
that's
if
it.
results are going against us, we don't use it. It just goes into the dividend for the Cronkies. That's when I'm like, oh, well, we could have been using Pepe, and again, a 3
Well,
0
look,
might look like a 4 0 with Pepe rather than Nketiah.
the
But
the four other youngsters, right? Pepe got 21 goal involvements in all comps last season.
mm,
Yeah. The other four youngsters, Martinelli, Saka, ESR, yeah, and
mm,
Odegaard, they already have 22 in the league, and
mm,
it's December.
yeah, yeah.
What do you want me to say? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, you
and
know,
I
like
said I
that,
know
that was one
Pepe.
of his better seasons last season, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So the wider context of this Project Youth thing, yeah, and the way it's working is these guys are only getting better, and
yeah,
they're proving it. You're watching them play each game. I see Saka play. I see an improvement.
yeah.
Each game I see Smith Rowe play. I see an improvement. Each game I see Odegaard play. I see an improvement. And Martin Elliott's the
Mm.
same. It
Oh,
doesn't mean that they
he's
always impact the game well, but they might make a mistake and learn from it the next game or something. But you are seeing development.
yeah,
You are
yeah. But
seeing
and
them up
again,
the curve.
my main thing is they look more of a threat than Pepe looked. Like as I said, Pepe used to frustrate the life out of me. Like, and
Mm,
again, I was with Nigeria and I was very harsh on Pepe. I don't think he's done enough. He hasn't had a bad career, but he just doesn't. Yes,
do
he's got
enough.
a great highlight reel, but he just doesn't. He might come out with an assist in the game, but that's not enough for me when you've touched the ball 20 times in the opposition half and haven't created anything else. Like when I'm watching Saka, I watched Saka yesterday on Masuaku, and again, and he's getting doubled up, but
Mm.
he is ripping Masuaku left, right, and center. Like, and it's just, and again, it's just that sustained pressure because now they can't even get out because we are just going at him, going at him, going. If it's not Saka, it's Martinelli going. Laka's pocket up, he's just blocking things up. Odegaard's connecting things. Like they couldn't get out. And again, it's that
I think
sustained pressure
I don't know what
is
you
the
feel,
difference.
yeah, but I felt we were more clinical in the second half, but more dominant in the first one.
Yeah, I agree with you. We got into good positions. We were knocking, but it just wasn't knocking down. And then, but again, it was a quick start in the second half, weren't it? It was a few minutes in, and we got
Saka
that
was a
first
big
goal.
part of that first half.
First
But
half,
yeah,
he was unreal.
it was a really quick start. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. But I think it was just that one moment we Laka found that pocket of space, and that was clinical. Like because it wasn't even like we caught them on a counter attack. It was just a good bit of football, opened them up, and fair play to the guys. But right, let's get to some comments quickly. Um, DWTT's in the building. What you saying, bro? Hope everything's good. Um, Silver Fox agrees it's a bit of both form and it could be potentially the money. I don't know why this. What is this VAS Fast Tech? Someone told me what this is because this has been like the third stream I've been doing, and I keep seeing it, and I don't know if it's. I ain't got a clue. So yeah, someone fill me in. Um, I think in Jan he will get more game time because of that clause. Um, Potentially, obviously we've got a lot of games coming up. Like I think
I
there's
think we should just put him on. I think we should put him up for transfer in January.
No, I think he's ready. I think his agent will be sounding out. Like
I
there's no
think,
smoke without fire sometimes, is there? And
yeah,
there's been touts of him going Milan and other
I
places.
think we just have to start again. It saddens me because I genuinely like him. Like
Yeah, there's
you
nothing
know,
wrong with him. And
bro, you
what
growing
like
up
just
playing with me, man. You know that Pepe is my sort of player. Like
player?
he's
Yeah, yeah,
my
yeah,
don. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Like man,
Do,
like I used to just tie people up in knots doing that stuff. Yeah, like
yeah, sometimes I
I
say
used
I
to.
don't think when we say I don't think he knows what he's doing when he's doing all these tricks, but it's coming off for him. So,
Yeah, that's the thing.
but
Like, but it's just it's not working for us. And I
yeah,
think for
it's not
him as
working
well,
for him. Yeah, it's
I
not.
want him to go on and have a good career because I think in the right system, you know,
Yeah,
with
and
the
I think
right team,
this is where we do need to get a bit more ruthless. If it's not working, there's nothing wrong with saying it didn't work and moving on.
yeah,
Like there's no point keeping him and then him walking out on a free. If we
mm,
take your hit and say we lose 30, 40, we'll not even lose it. He's had 2 good years with us. Like he has been okay for us. But again, on now you're seeing again, I think it's a bit like the Bellingham. People go, oh, he's not that bad. He got an assist in this game. But yeah, he did do all right. But now you're seeing a right back and a left back, proper right back and left back. You're now realizing the limitations Bellerin had. Do you know what I mean? And I think that would be that's what I'm seeing with Pepe. He's bad, but it's just he doesn't do quite what Saka and them lot are doing right now. But
mm.
yeah, and I agree with you, WDTT. If he was scoring and creating chances consistently, we wouldn't care about the 10 mil. Because again,
We wouldn't
if
give
you
a
get
damn
Champions League
about it.
football, yeah, if you get that Champions League football, that's worth more than 10 mil. So yeah, it's definitely.
Mm.
I think it's just he's not dislodging them boys in front of him. So why are we going to pay the extra 10 mil at this moment? Is it worth it to try and get more out of Pepe? They could still sell him and he'd be worth more if he's producing. That is true. So you might see him get more minutes going on in the season, but time will tell. Everton player got a yellow for diving, so official can see it until United play. It looked like he caught his foot
I
though. To be
saw it
fair,
actually.
it
It
looked
looked
like
a
he
bit
did step on his foot.
dubious.
At
I
first, I
can't
thought it was
lie.
a dive, but then in another angle, it looked like he stepped on his foot, but he looked like he was
Yeah.
going down already.
Oh,
Pepe and Abba have lacked the same player trait, the trait that raises the level based on performances by other players or lack of theirs. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I agree. There's something
but
quite missing with them too. I think they rely on a lot of everything that's going around and going well
do,
for them to kick
do you
off.
know what I genuinely like now? Yeah, is people are starting to come alive to what I've been saying. Yeah, it's like, listen, these players, those two that you named there, they weren't Arteta players in a sense
Mm,
of they were there before him at creating the same sort of problems for previous managers. So, at what point do you say, hang on a minute, we can change the manager right here, but a new manager is going to come in
mm,
with the same problems, yeah, the same squad, yeah,
mm.
with you're having to do the same things, yeah, you know, and you're looking at, you know, you know, you're looking at Everton here, like, you know, like I've just been on Kieran Rant stream, yeah, and a lot of them are calling for Benitez to go. Listen, he's got 6 players injured, six
Mm.
players injured in his first team, yeah. At what point have you got to be like, why is it always definitively the manager's problem?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yes, he sets the team up. Yes, he sets the tactics up. Yes, he has to take a lot of responsibility. But at the moment, he's improving the squad. Yeah,
Mm.
he's improving the squad. We literally have a 23-year-old goalkeeper with more clean sheets than the clean sheet record holder of the Champions League last season.
Yeah, yeah.
Back the whole back five, more clean sheets than Chelsea's.
Mm.
So what's going to happen when he builds his midfield and his attack? I keep asking this question, yeah. And the unfortunate thing is to find that out.
You've got to be patient.
The sale of these two, Pepe and Aubameyang, has to happen to help that
Yeah,
rebuild.
yeah, yeah. Definitely,
Chelsea didn't
definitely.
just buy Lukaku; they sold 3 or 4 players, yeah, that were on the fringes. They had to make the difficult decisions, as you
Mm.
said. Tomori, class centre back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I
He
mean?
won for the
Walks probably
future.
into any other big six clubs back
Mm.
line. Get rid of him because he's
Got to
not
go.
playing enough for us. And it's a
Yeah,
tough
you got.
choice. They're
Mm.
like, even though Thiago's might only be good for a year or two, but right now we need a striker. We need
Yeah,
a number 9. So this is what we got to do, yeah. So we got to start doing the same thing, like.
yeah.
And I
And
think
I agree with DWTT here, where he says Pepe on the ball still doesn't want to attack the defense consistently. So many times he hesitates and defense is able to recover. And what you're seeing, we scored a lot of the same goal. We almost scored it with Xhaka yesterday, where Saka gets in down the right and then he cuts it back to the edge of the box, the kind of area. Smith Rowe scored a lot of goals from that position. And these
mm,
are, as an attacking kind of player, you need to know, again, there's nothing more frustrating than playing with someone and you don't know what he's going to do next, because when do I make my run? Because I go and he does a Cruyff and you're thinking, oh God, I'm offside, I've got to get back on side. And all of a sudden you get on side and the ball's coming, you're not ready for it. So
mm.
you need to know what these players are doing. And with Saka, he's direct, so every time he gets it in that, if he gets you one on one, he's going at him. So actually, now I need to start making my transitions. Whereas
The
Pepe
thing
very much
is,
used to beat you, stand you up, and then beat you again. And you
the
can't.
other thing
Sometimes
is
you
with
can't build off that.
with what you're saying about that predictability as well, is Saka and Smith Rowe have played together since they were 10 years old. So
Mm.
what you saw in that movement when Tomiyasu put the tackle in, Saka helped him to win the ball. You almost saw him waiting. He didn't look behind him, but he was waiting. He was like, "Where's Smith Rowe? Because I can't see
Yeah,
him in
yeah.
front of me,
He's
but
gonna
I'm not
come.
going to
Yeah.
look behind me because then it's going to make it bait to the defender." Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm.
I know these thought patterns, bro, because like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
playing on
yeah,
the
yeah,
wing, innit? I just know, yeah. When I'm playing with my brother, who you also know, yeah,
yeah.
how me and him you used to see us playing together sometimes when we pass and we're not even looking at each other,
Okay, you know where he's
yeah,
gonna be. Yeah, yeah.
because you played with that guy for that long, yeah. He
Mm.
was waiting for that run from ESR, and ESR knew where to run,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, it's coming. Yeah.
I was thinking, why didn't he go inside?
Nah,
But
get right. Yeah.
he went outside and then checked inside, yeah.
Mm.
And you that connection, Pepe will never have that with ESR. I
No, no,
can
no.
tell you that now. We'll never have that with ESR, yeah. Me and my brother, it took us years to have that. Do you know what I
Mm.
mean? We start playing 4 or 5 years old, yeah. By the time we're like 8 or 9, that stuff becomes normal.
Yeah, yeah.
And you got to consider they've been doing this through the academy into the first
Mm.
team. So
Yeah, they got that link. And again, it's knowing what your player's gonna do, isn't it? If
that
again,
chemistry helps the other
I've
players like
played with players.
Martinelli and Odegaard as well,
Yeah,
innit? It helps
and
those guys exponentially, innit?
yeah, and I play with players where I was even the other day. I was playing a little charity match, and I'm playing with a guy, and he's giving me a cross, and he's like, "How could you ain't got there?" And I was like, "Mate, because you never normally pass there, so I didn't even bother make the run." So again, if you're Pepe, who's got and Van Nistelrooy and Ronaldo is a perfect example. Where Van Nistelrooy blistered him and went mad at him and said, "I don't care how good you are, get the ball in the box when I make my run because I'm running and you're doing step overs. It ain't no good to me because I don't know when that ball's coming." So
Mm,
sometimes you have to simplify it. And just, do you know what I mean? It's again, everything's repetition and patterns of play. And again, Barcelona are famous for it. Barcelona, Henri said when he went there, he couldn't believe how many different patterns of play they had. And he knew what move he's going to make 5 passes before it happened. If the ball went out to the right back first or if it went to the left back, he knows 5 passes, I'm gonna make that run in there, almost like NFL, 2 steps inside, then go straight. Like he said, it's that level intricacy at that level with them kind of teams. So yeah,
mm.
they're making it look easy, them young boys at the moment. So yeah, Pepe, unfortunately. DWTT's also said Saka continue attacks the back line. Pepe must notice this and still doesn't do it. Yeah, I don't think he's as comfortable going on his right foot, and I think that's half the issue. Here it is again, VAR tech. I don't know what I'm missing, but someone tell me, please. Pepe's making it easy for Arsenal to use the 10 million as a reason for him to sit him. I wonder why he's on the bench. Maybe someone else should get a seat. Yeah, potentially. But again, it's that. if he needs to come on, he's there. But we'll see. We'll see. There's definitely a reason why Eddie's starting. But again, we've seen Arteta use Eddie against Lacazette and Aubameyang earlier last season, where he just had them two wasn't putting their weight, so he put Nketiah, and then we're seeing it again. Um, oh my God, Trent has scored an absolute rocket. Don't want to hear that. There's a video from 2-3 years ago, Pepe making multiple players miss. Meanwhile, Laka is standing in front of goal waiting for the pass for a tap in. Pepe eventually lost the ball. Yeah, and it's just those things there. It's again, it's Pepe's nature. He's not saying he's a bad player. Somewhere else, they might really appreciate that in him. But I think for Arsenal, it's time to kind of move on. I think for him and for Arsenal, do you know what I mean? It might be time. And we're playing good football at the moment. And Pepe might come back and he might regain his spot, and we might be thinking, Jesus Christ, we got it terribly wrong here. And I hope it does happen, because again, Pepe is one of the players who most fans do like. No one wants to see their players go through bad form or be on the bench. And what was nice yesterday, Martinelli scored. He went and hugged Pepe, so it shows there's no bad feeling
No,
between, do you know what I mean, the players. And it kind of made me go back on what I said about does he be warming up and that. Like, everything looked good to me yesterday. So it's just part and parcel. We've seen Sterling had to ride the bench for a long time at Man City recently. Mahrez, when he first went to City, had to ride the bench for the best part of a year. Bernardo Silva was saying he wanted out of City in the summer because he wasn't playing, and now he's their main player. Like, yes, they still got quality in De Bruyne, Gundogan, but Bernardo Silva is definitely their player of the season so far. So
yeah.
yeah, Pepe's time might come. And again, these are nice things to have where we're actually trying to play players who are producing, rather than you should get dropped because you're having a bad run. Actually, you should play because you're fantastic at the moment.
But
And that,
it's genuinely, you've got to go back here. For me, you got to go back to Sanchez, maybe Ozil. Before that, Henri and Perez and Lundberg. Yeah, goal scoring outlets from midfield. I think the top teams have it effectively, especially in this age of the wing forward.
yeah,
Top teams have it. Yeah, and I think the ruthless reality of the situation is to be a top team, you need those outlets taking pressure off the front men. Yeah, you need that. Like, you look at Liverpool, goals are coming from all over the pitch.
even
Chelsea's defense has scored more than most people's front lines.
yeah. So, and again, what's worrying about that is they're still winning games. They're not firing, but actually, imagine when that attack does start firing, they're a problem because they're winning games with Rudiger
You
and
know,
Mason Mount scoring all the goals.
yeah,
So
Mount
could you
scored
imagine?
probably more than most people this
Yeah, and
season.
Rudiger's involved in the play. So can you imagine when Lukaku does get going,
They
like
got
them
Gallagher
one?
on loan doing it at Palace,
Yeah,
8 or 9
he's a
goals.
player. He's
Do you
a
know what I'm
player.
saying? So
He's a player.
the thing is, you can't have, not just in the defensive sense, in the attacking sense, in this modern game, you can't have passengers in that position. You
Yeah,
can't
100%.
you can't have guys that have purple patches and then go
And,
missing.
and yeah, not to flip this back to Abba and Laka, but again, it's that age-old argument, isn't it? Like, I'm not saying you have to score every game, Pepe, but if you're not scoring in the system, what else are you doing? And that might sound mad,
Look,
but
Saka didn't
Laka,
score since February, yeah, but you could see game on
his
game there's an
impact.
impact there, so he's
Yeah,
keeping his place. Do you get what I mean? Because
and
it's like, look,
again, we look at
this
yesterday.
guy's
Lacazette,
endeavor, his intent, his impact,
he's
the
creating
measure of
space.
what he's doing, you can
He's
see it
beating
there. He's
players.
just on
Yeah,
another day he's scoring, or on another day
yeah,
he's getting an assist there, or something like that.
yeah.
And then he goes into the next game, and you're seeing him develop. Like, he's learned from that last game. Oh, where he did that kind of thing last time, where he shouldn't have done it there. He shouldn't have released the ball there, and then he
Yeah,
goes to the next game and he actually does that shit. So
yeah,
you're seeing that kind of progression. Like, I think a lot
yeah.
of people
And I think as you're seeing
a
it
lot
with
of people
Laka
just
and
look at
Abba now, aren't
progression
you?
as, oh, right, so has he got
How
goals
many
and
goals did he
assists?
score? Yeah, it's football's bigger than that. And again, you could look at Abba and Laka yesterday. Yes, Laka got an assist, but we take that out of the game. Even if he didn't get that assist, if he missed the penalty, but actually what he did within that game was still more than what Aubameyang sometimes gives you. And that's not saying Aubameyang doesn't
hundred
work hard.
percent,
He
hundred
not, and no
percent.
one's saying Abba don't work hard, but it's
I
just the
still thought he
impact.
was one of our
Sometimes,
best players, Laka, even
yeah,
though he
yeah,
missed the
100%,
penalty.
100%,
Even though he
hundred
missed the
percent.
penalty.
You know, and
Do you know what I'm saying?
even with the second, he actually, again, when you go back and watch it, the ball went up in the air, and
Mm,
was it for the penalty? It might be for the penalty. And Diop's got a free header, and Lacazette literally just rolled his body onto him, and Diop missed the header, which then meant it bounced over. Martinelli then tracked down the next one and won the loose ball, and
mm.
then I think Lackanen coming around the blind side, whatever it was, but it was just Laka putting his body in a position to make it hard for Diop, created it. Whereas like Martinelli did the other day when he just leaned on the centre back and then Odegaard got the header in. And it's them small little things where, not saying Abba wouldn't do it, but I've seen too many times the ball goes up, Abba doesn't challenge, and the centre back wins the header easy. And actually, sometimes just putting your body in the area just makes it hard. Do you know what I mean? And it's about sometimes, even if I'm not scoring, is what am I doing to help the team? And unfortunately, like I think with Abba and Pepe, I think they're very much in that mold of when it's not going their way and they're not hammering goals in, they're giving you much else. So, Monday, good evening. I feel like I ain't seen you for a long time. Maybe I'm dodging you. But he said it's all about squad depth for the top four sides, telling to chill and show character to fight for his place. And his time might come again, and hopefully it does.
Remind me, who's in the top four at the moment on Monday. Asking for a friend, innit?
You know he's gonna be games in hand. You got to come back from COVID, boy. It's gonna be interesting when you not come back, man. When Pepe beats a man, he goes back and wants to beat him again. Yeah. And
the thing is, if you're Ronaldinho and you can actually pull that shit off, because Ronaldinho used to do it. No one complained when Ronaldinho did it and pulled it off. Yeah, because there was end product there.
Yeah, always. Right, Mondi said Pepe got more game time in Europa League. It's a shame he went in Europe. There was a player there. Yeah, he's good on he was good on the continent, to be fair, and I think we did see his best football in Europe. It's only Europa Cup, but it is what it is. But time will tell. Right, guys, we're going to wrap it up there. Actually, before I wrap it up there, I like this comment. Pepe gets a free coffee after beating a man 5 times. He gets that stamp. Oh, that's bad. That's got me busted up. But yeah, on that note, there, we can't say for certain if it is or not. But we definitely feel there isn't. He's not helping himself while he's not playing. And I'll go back to that Leeds game. Me and you both went to see it, and we both said the same thing. That was your game to prove to the fans and Arteta you deserve to be starting, and you didn't do enough. You didn't do enough in that game, so now you got to settle for.
Stunk it up.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Horrifically, man.
Yeah, it was bad. Great show, guys. Thank you, Amondi. 2 dons. You done know. Amondi, wait till you see our little outro. You got to be quick though, because it's only about 3 seconds long. But yeah, on that note, guys, watch the outro. Again, we're going to keep breaking these little special news pop-ups. We're going to keep jumping on and just talking and just, you know what I mean, talking more things Arsenal. And one thing I will say is, for these people who say fan channels are about negativity and the rest of it, I don't know how you feel, but when we're playing better and winning, I find myself on here more. And I want to keep talking. I'm enjoying talking about it.
Listen, bro.
Sometimes when we get beat, it's a struggle to come on the reactions.
You know why I didn't come on the reaction show yesterday? I was doing a watch along, I was doing a watch along, on my TikTok, and it's got to the point now, where there'll be other Arsenal fans doing a watch along, but when people see that I'm doing a watch along, everyone's coming in my stream,
Serious.
And like when there's this guy Ben AFC, he's a Martinelli stan, he loves Martinelli, Everyone knows me, as the ESR stan, Everyone knows, but the thing is, some people, like there's agenderists, people that be like, see, this is why Martinelli's got to get picked, and this is why you don't pick this guy. I'm not that guy.
Silver Fox.
I'm not that guy, I'm not
Silver
that guy.
Fox.
Listen,
Silver Fox.
I prefer not to speak,
Give him Ben White. What did you give Ben White yesterday at 6?
I prefer not to speak, But listen, everyone came in, right? As soon as ESR scored, because they were like, what's this guy's reaction, Martinelli scored, I put my phone down, I'm doing his celebration, just like that, just like giving it that, And then ESR scored, I was going fucking nuts in this living room,
Serious.
I had about 130 people in my live chat, bro, And that's why I was like, I can't put this down now. I know I've got to be on the reaction on that, but I had to ride that crest of like engagement and that, and people were coming to celebrate.
That's it. That's what I'm saying.
It's all Arsenal fans just being like, because they see it when I put my content up. They'll see the Chelsea fans come at it. They'll see the United fans come at it. They'll see the Tottenham fans come at it, and they'll just see me going back at them, just like, listen, who are you? Like, I'm sorry, if you're a Chelsea fan and you're a Spurs fan coming at me, who are you? You are supporters of an inferior team in terms of success in London. Don't come at me. So it gives them hope. It galvanizes them, because most of them are youngers that ain't seen what I've seen. Do you know what I mean?
They didn't see the good times.
So they didn't see the good times. Like, listen, the only way he can be this bold and this proud about it, is because of what his eyes have seen, So it's like they rally behind, man, isn't it? Yeah. And then these times now, my life, was just kicking off because everyone was just like, yeah, this is where his faith is starting to. People are gonna start to taking notice of what he's been saying all along. Yeah. My life was popping. Like we lost to Everton. I had more engagement, yesterday against
That's
West
what I
Ham.
mean. That's what I mean. It's not always a negative when like I
And the
said,
same
I
thing
know
happened against
personally for
Everton.
me.
They all came flocking or whatever.
Yeah.
But I had more engagement yesterday, and the numbers
And
don't
as I
lie.
say, for me, I know I feel I still come on the reactions and show my face and talk, but my energy is a lot higher. My will to want to do more shows is a lot more when Arsenal are flying. So again, we will be putting out content when Arsenal lose, but at the same time, it's a different energy and a different vibe. Especially for me personally, it's different when we win. So guys, keep doing it. We're gonna get to this last comment. Amandi behave. That was not no lame shot the keeper should have saved. It did not trickle in. If that was Greenwood on his left foot, you lot would be ranting and raving and doing the madness. Oh yeah, he's
Was
2 footed. You
was
don't know
that with
what
his?
he's gonna
You
do.
see what he did, yeah. Right. Let me just
Beautiful.
answer this very quickly before we
Take
go.
him. You get him. You get him.
Right?
Because I know Mundy's
The
your
thing,
guy. Hold
the
on.
thing
Wait.
about the thing about
Wait. Oh no. Let's bring you onto the light. You take this away. Go on.
right. So the thing about shooting, bruv, you can shoot with power or you can place the ball, number one, but it's how he body feinted and opened up his shoulder as if he was going to the opposite corner. Yeah. And what that's done is it's rooted the goalkeeper because the goalkeeper's positioning. The reason why the goalkeeper stood still is because he had already prepared to dive in the other corner. And Smith Rowe knew he had done that, In the same instance, he's using his weak peg to nutmeg the defender in front of him, whose body is also blocking the vision of the goalkeeper. He's like, I don't need to hit it that hard. I just need to place it. Yeah.
Just good connection.
And the way the keeper stayed rooted shows you that he was completely wrong-footed. And it was all from how he shaped his body as if he was going to the other corner. Do you get what I'm saying? So, listen, I don't want to hear no nonsense about this shot, bro. Yeah. Come on, just behave yourself. Just behave yourself. Yeah. Don't do that, bro.
I love him. Yeah. Son always does that, GunnerKing. This is why he's such a good finisher. You see it there? We know player quality, like, you can see it. You can see it, and it's coming. What you chat about? Monday, we love you, brother. But guys, on that note, we're gonna wrap it up. Are you lot ready? I've got to be quick to get from here to end broadcast. This is gonna be a quick one. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1.